Good evening. Welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network. We're a little bit behind schedule here, but that's not going to keep you from catching any of the action here for the Elkhorn Automotive Tires and Center Shut Up and Race Street Stock Series. Today coming at us from Concord for the Emerald Coast Getaway 100. The Emerald Coast Getaway, talking about one of our great sponsors, the 5-Star Realty Group. They are good. Let's see, it looks like we're getting some sound crossing over from places. Hopefully we can get that straightened out here in just a little bit. But 5-Star Realty came on board for our last season, or last race, getting everything started there. They're great people to contact for. If you're headed over to Florida doing some vacationing, they got some beach rentals for you. So get in touch with them. Let them know you heard about them here from the Shut Up and Race Street Stock Series, and they will hook you up with a discount over there. Right now, we're looking at that 19 machine. That's Jeff Mathis, one of the guys over there at 5-Star Realty. He's one of the guys that'll hook you up with that discount. So if you get a chance, have us talk with Jeff after the race and get your vacation plan set up for Florida. All right, with qualifying starting right now. Looking at Jeff Mathis, like we said, Vern Woodard currently top on the scoreboard with a 17.880. Sitting in second is Gary Sheen with a 17.926. Jeffrey Mathis currently sitting in 11th with an 18.459. So great job out here for these guys. This is a tricky track to deal with. Let's see if we can get you a little more information about what's going on here. So this track, well, now iRacing's all sorts of confused, saying there's 5 turns here. In reality, there are 3 turns at this location. Kind of runs, looks like Pocono out there on a real tiny scale. So, got 3 corners these guys have to work with. That one in the back stretch, almost more of a dog leg, not a true corner where they're making a big turn, just a quick adjustment around that corner and keep on going. Just means, though, they're carrying a lot of speed coming into the final corner. So look for guys to be locking them up at the last second or sliding around corner, we'll call it 3 here tonight. So Royce Scavrino currently taking that top position with a 17.762. All right, let's see if we can get a word in with one of our drivers. We're going to see if we can get a hold of Jeff Mathis real quick. See if we can have a word with him. Jeff, it's Danny up in the booth. How you doing? Jeff, you got a copy? Doing good. How about yourself? Hey, that track doesn't look like it's your best friend out here tonight, but always excited to see you out here racing. Figured we'd get a quick word with you, being as you're with 5-Star Realty. Maybe give everybody a quick rundown of what all you guys do and let them know how to get in touch with you. Yes, you are. Well, awesome. We're glad to hear about that. Definitely hope guys are able to get in touch with you and you have a good time out there on track.
Beating and banging on each other pretty good around this one.
It'll be a good time. We're excited to see what you guys can do with this place.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dan.
Hey, you have a good one.
You too.
All right, that's Jeff Mathis there in the 19 machine, telling us all about the 5-Star Realty, where they do some real estate management and give you an opportunity to visit someplace you might not be able to do normally. All right, looks like the qualifying session is wrapping up here. We are going to step away for just a moment, let these guys get finished up, and we'll be right back after the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Back here at Concord Speedway for this Shut Up and Race Street Stock Series. Tonight brought to us by Emerald Coast Getaway by 5-Star Realty. Let's get a run through our starting lineup here tonight. So sitting on that first row is Royce Scriverino. With him is Dustin Shepard. Row 2 is going to be Vern Woodard and Cody Hubbard. Row 3 is going to be Gary Asheen and Jeffrey Mathis. Row 4 is Patrick Smith and Josh Taylor. Row 5, David E. Knowles, Philip Martin. Row 6, we're looking at Devin Rogers, J.D. Callahan. Jeff Berger and Justin Penuel are going to be on row 7. Brandon Klazinski, we're going to go with that for now, and Brad Tazbecker in row 8. Charlie Bragg and Mike Todd on row 9. Row 10, Daryl Calder and Jerry Stone. Jonathan Cross and Sawyer Ott on row 11. Jacob Nottestead, Thomas Frisch on row 12. Chris Medford, Justin Thuft in row 13. And that will be our starting lineup here tonight. All right, so these guys get ready to pull on off. All right, everybody is stacked up side by side here. One more time around, that pace car will be pulling off and we will be underway. Pace car's down and off the tracks. Royce Scriverino is in control of the field. Cody Hubbard back there in that 20 machine. We've seen him do great work the last couple tracks we've been at, so it'll be exciting to keep an eye on him throughout the night. Royce takes us into corner 1 with Dustin Shepard to his outside. Inside line definitely going to be where Dustin's trying to get down to as soon as possible. Looking at the 4 machine of Gary Asheen get down in there. Great start from these guys. The front few have single filed out. Looking back through the field, we got a few spots where people are side by side. Take a look back here. This is the battle for 4th between Cody Hubbard and Patrick Smith. Smith there on the inside, and the 79 machine gets that through that corner pretty well. Hubbard on that outside lane, just not able to get the car going out of the corner. We've watched him drop from about 4th position, and he's slowly falling through the field. 3 wide that time before Hubbard gets sent around. A couple other guys getting collected up in that mess. This is a tight track here tonight. So when someone goes around, expect to see more guys get involved. There we go. Get a good look at him. We'll jump back real quick, take a quick look at it. So we're watching him here. Hubbard to that outside line, doing everything he can to hold on to that position. Looks like that's the 0-1 machine to his inside there. They get going and battling. The 79 doesn't get the run he was hoping for, and it just stacks everybody up a little bit before Hubbard sends it around. And like I said, this is a pretty tight track we got here, so once guys start going sideways, there's not a whole lot of place for anybody to go. Royce Scravino maintains that top position. Gary Asheen sits in 2nd. Dustin Shepard 3rd. Patrick Smith 4th. Devin Rogers 5th. And Jeff Bergner moved up into that 6th position. Brad Tazbecker sitting in 7th. Charlie Bragg in 8th. Mike Todd sitting 9th. And Jeffrey Mathis in that 10th spot. Few cars coming down pit lane. Some of those guys get caught up in that accident, coming down, getting the car fixed up as best they can. Seeing what they can do to not go laps down, but still have a car that's drivable. See that 0-1 machine, Josh Taylor, still sitting down there on pit lane. Looks like he's got quite a bit of damage. Currently sitting 2 laps down, so he'll be down there for a while. Lights are out. Guys are side by side. Royce Scravino once again in control of this field. Royce waits coming through the corner. Almost to the front stretch before getting on that loud pedal, getting things going, making these guys guess what's going to be going on here through the night. See a little bit of bumping back there. The 69 machine of Dustin Shepard sliding up the track. That's going to stack up guys behind him. We're seeing almost 3 wide action there with the 46 machine stuck to the middle. 12 with Charlie Bragg in that Mountain Dew machine. Currently riding 7th. Just behind him, that's Philip Martin. Philip Martin looking to the inside, trying to make something happen this time through that quick left there on the back stretch. Inside line working well for him. He's able to clear Bragg that time by. Now we're looking at the 27 machine, Brad Tazbecker. Brad has to have seen that 46 get by the car behind him, so he's got a little something to worry about as he's got Bergner there in front of him. Becker all over the back of Bergner. Bergner just came by, but Brad not letting that position go easily. He's going to fight for that back. Take a look a little bit further back. We're looking at the 60 machine of Justin Penwell. Justin's got Vern Woodard looking to his inside, coming into one here. Vern gets that low line. Be a great opportunity if he can get a good run out of the corner. Vern not quite able to make it happen that time, but definitely letting Justin know he's there and going to make him work for that. A little bit up the track. They're a little bit loose, but he's got it gathered back up as they're coming down that front stretch into one. Penwell continues to fight back on that outside line. Looks like another caution out here on track. Let's see if we can find out what's going on there. Look like it might be this 29 machine here getting caught up in it. We'll take a quick jump back and see what's going on. There we see it there. At that point he's already around, so we'll step back just a little bit more. There we go. That's the 47 machine. Justin Thuft into the outside wall, comes down, collects JD Callahan in the 29. JD's got to hurry and get that machine rolling before the pack catches back up with him. We're going to go ahead and step away for just one moment while these guys pace around here just a minute, and we'll get back to the action.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got him for a rest. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaw.
Back here at the Concord Speedway, watching cars come down pit lane. Oh, the 76 Royce fakes it before pulling back on up to the track. Almost didn't make it there, it looked like. So we are on lap 17 out of 100 for the Emerald Coast Getaway 100, sponsored by 5 Star Realty. Looking back through the field here. Looking at our 9th and 10th position. That's the 19th, Jeffrey Mathis, with Vern Woodard behind him in that 10th position. Just in front of them is Charlie Bragg. In the number 12 machine, that Mountain Dew machine, looking good out there on track. We were hoping that time by the lights might go on the pace car, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. We'll be riding around a few more times here. Alright, so Roy Scrivino has been leading this thing from the get-go, currently sitting in that first position. Gary Asheen moved up into second, riding there comfortably. Devin Rogers up into third. Dustin Shepard in fourth. Philip Martin sitting fifth, with Jeff Bergner riding sixth. Charlie Bragg riding, showing him seventh. Then Brad Taz in eighth. Vern Woodard ninth, and Jeffrey Mathis sitting 10th. These guys are doubled up as we are getting ready to go back to racing here. That pace car is down and away. Roy Scrivino once again in control. We watched him last time back these guys up through the corner, not real eager to get things rolling again, see if he does the same thing or if he's going to go a little bit sooner. Looks like the same type of restart. Wait until he's got that car pointed straight out of the corner and then getting on it. So he's able to clear out to that front position pretty quick. Back here, Devin Rogers in the 7 machine working to clear Philip Martin that's Dustin Shepard in the 69 machine, working to clear him. Now we see Philip Martin there in the 46 machine coming to the inside on Dustin Shepard. We watched this last time. Those guys in that outside lane have to find an opportunity to get down as soon as possible. And there we see Dustin's going to be able to drop in line behind Philip. Philip going to keep pulling away. Looking through this field, we got a couple little packs forming up. We got this pack here. Then we look a little bit further back. Looking here at the 73 machine of Vern Woodard. He's got a little pack he's running in. That group is going to have the 27 of Brad Taz Becker, as well as the 12 of Charlie Bragg. There we go. Cameras weren't working with us there for a second, but we got them back under control. Looking here at the 76 of Royce Scravino. Royce slowly inching away. Has about a 1 second gap behind him. Currently about to be coming up on lap traffic. So as we've seen all season long, these short tracks, you're catching your tail pretty quick once you get started here. Especially if we can get some longer runs. These guys will have an opportunity to work through some traffic. Be real interesting to see who's able to make it through, who gets held up. Once again, looking at this pack formed up back here. That's the 69 machine, Dustin Shepard. Just in front of him, the 46 of Philip Martin, and then Devin Rogers in that 7 machine. Those guys are running nose to tail. Gary Asheen is our second place car, so you can see that gap between him and Royce. It's a pretty good gap. In fact, it looks like we have a lapped car in between them already. So Royce is cleared. It looks like that's the 73 of Vern Woodard that he's gotten around and made it by. Looking back here, this is Jonathan Cross in the 10 machine. Jonathan, the last car on the lead laps, currently sitting in 18th position. Just in front of him, we have David Knowles and Justin Thuft. That 99 machine, Daryl Calder, he's running in the mix there, but unfortunately, he's currently sitting a lap down. So he'll be hoping for a couple of cautions here so he can get caught back up with the pack. Daryl generally runs pretty well. These smaller tracks seem to suit him decently, and he always seems to be able to keep that car clean as long as he can get through the first half of the race. Patrick Smith here in the 79 machine to his outside. Oh, now back in line. That's 28, Mike Todd. Mike looking to that outside, running a slightly higher line. Maybe trying to save some tires. We have caution out here on the track. Timing and scoring not giving us a great idea of where that's at. We'll see if we can find it here for just a second. Timing and scoring not giving us a great idea of where that happened out there on the track. So we had a bit of a hiccup when we tried to talk to him early, the 19th machine of Jeff Mathis. Let's see if we can get a word in with him now and see if everything's working well for us. Jeff, it's Danny up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I got you. What's going on up there?
Oh, you know, just having issues every now and then, and wanted to make sure we got a good word in with you tonight.
Cool. I bet you're getting dizzy up there watching us go around in circles.
You know what? You guys are putting on one heck of a show out there. That back stretch, how's it treating you?
You got a feather coming off of one, but if you don't get too aggressive, you can make it through. that little dog leg. This here turn 3 is a nightmare, and you've got to really watch what you're doing.
That's kind of what we were thinking earlier in the night with the good run you can get down that backstretch. Turn 3 can be real tricky for guys. So we were talking earlier about 5-Star Realty, and you were telling us about some of the great spots you got. Why don't you give us a little more info on one of those spots you got?
Yeah, well, we've got a bunch of townhouses out there that we rent out for vacationers right here in Panama City Beach. Most beautiful beaches in the world. I'm telling you, white sands, and just lay out and gather the sun, baby.
Hey, with winter coming, that sounds like a pretty nice thing. I mean, we're in the middle of summer, but you got to start planning now.
Yeah, buddy. Listen, I'm going to have to let you go because we're getting ready to take off again, but y'all have fun.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Have a good one.
I know I'm having fun.
That was the 19 machine, Jeff Math. 76 now, Royce Scravino once again in control. We're getting used to hearing that here. So he will have the field here. Gary Asheen to his outside. Just behind him, that's going to be Philip Martin and then Devin Rogers. So we've watched Royce wait to this front stretch to get going. Looks like it's the same thing again. But it's working for him. Each time he does it, it looks like he's able to get clear as the 4 machine slides way up the track there. Looked like the guys behind him were trying to figure out a way to get in there. It just didn't open quite enough for the 7 machine of Devin Rogers or the 46 of Philip Martin to be able to stick a nose in. So Gary, after that big move up the track, looks like he might be trying to run that line. It's an interesting one. We've not seen a lot of guys trying that through that dog leg, running it clear out to the wall there. Moving back through the field here, this is the 12 machine, Charlie Bragg, working on the back bumper there of Jeff Mathis. Jeff there in front of him, running a pretty good line. Looks like he's got that back stretch pretty well figured out. Like he said, as long as you can stay in control of the car, you will be all right through that dog leg. Just don't get too aggressive with it. Moving back up towards the front, looks like that 7 machine, Devin Rogers, taking a peek every now and then to the inside of Gary Asheen. Gary, though, running some good lines, putting in some good times, able to hang on to that position and, in fact, start working on the 46 of Philip Martin there in front of him. Guys out here tonight putting on a great show for us. This track is a tricky one, a handful, no 2 corners, anything alike. That corner 3, definitely a place to watch out because you'll be carrying a lot more speed into that corner than you are anywhere else here on the track. Looks like the 92 machine coming down pit lane might have an issue. He's only been out on track for a little while on those current set of tires, so maybe not scheduled, but he's riding about a lap down currently, so maybe just trying to change something up for him to get that car going again. Looking at the 54 of Thomas Frisch in front of him, the 28 Mike Todd just in front of them. You see the 79 Patrick Smith working to the inside of Charlie Bragg, able to clear him. So that 54 machine looks like he's been caught up in a little bit of the excitement we've had here tonight. Just a little bit crumpled, but he should be able to run that machine pretty well here. As long as nothing's bent up inside the machine, the outside can look however it wants here. See him now looking to the inside of Mike Todd. Mike Todd running a real high line there as you see the 96, or the 196 getting a little bit loose coming through that corner. 54, Thomas Frisch moves on up into that 12th position. Take a look here at the 196. Now he begins working on the 28 of Mike Todd. Mike's having a little bit of an issue coming through that corner 3, running real high up there and giving up quite a bit of time. '79 here, Patrick Smith, right down there on that yellow line, right where you want to be. Gives him a great run coming on this front stretch, and he's all over the bumper of Jeffrey Mathis in front of him. 47, Justin Thuft, running back here in the 16th position, trying to get caught up to the 20 of Cody Hubbard. That car we're seeing in front of him, that's the 60 machine of Justin Penuel. Justin is a lap down currently, so that won't be a battle for position. Caution is out on the track. Looks like that 99 machine, Daryl Calder, gonna be involved with that. We see him sitting there facing the wrong direction. Let's jump back a little bit, see if we can get a feel for what happened. There we see him coming into the turn 3 there. Just a little bit too much speed and puts him into the 10 machine. That's the 10 of Jonathan Cross. Both those cars were laps down. Daryl currently sits 2 lap down, with Jonathan Cross still sitting on only 1 lap down this time. Well, these guys get everything sorted out here on track. We're going to step away for just a moment, and we'll be back with more action for the Emerald Coast Getaway 100, sponsored by 5 Star Realty.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
All right, back here from the Concord Speedway for the Elkhorn Automotive and Tire Center Shut Up and Race Street Stock Series. Tonight being the Emerald Coast 100, sponsored by 5 Star Realty. Currently on lap 56 out of 100. We got a couple of guys looking, so let's see. Mark, you're looking for Brandon and Dustin out there. Dustin currently sitting in 11th position, so that's not bad. He's been working his way around through the field. This is a tight spot to be working with. Let's see if we can get a look at Brandon. Brandon, unfortunately, having a little bit harder time here tonight, currently sitting 1 lap down. The good news, though, he is the first car a lap down. So hopefully here he's going to get that lucky dog, get himself around, and he'll get back into the action pretty quick. Back out front, lights are out on the pace car. We're looking at the 76, Royce Scrivino again. He's been leading us back to green each time to his outside, Gary Asheen. These guys getting formed up. That's Vern Woodard and Brad Tazbecker there behind him. Looks like he's a little bit quicker to that loud pedal. Gets that 76 machine rolling. He's able to clear the 4 pretty easily. That brings Vern Woodard into the picture, battling there with Gary Asheen. Gary on the outside, hanging on with everything he's worth. Vern working that inside line, trying to get down as low as possible and carry as much speed out of the corner. So we see Gary working hard, getting into that outside wall. Little bit of contact there, doesn't slow him down too much. Vern not able to complete that pass yet. Looking like coming into 3, he's going to be able to get that done. Gary diving back down to the inside, looking to cross him back over. Gary now door to door on the inside line. Gary might have lost that position with a little bit of contact to that outside wall, but not giving up. He is back on the inside, fighting for that second position. Gary working hard coming out of the corner. Vern working what he's got out there. That outside line, a little bit more slick. It looks like we're seeing a lot of guys slip and slide through the corners once they get pushed up high there. Gary able to clear Vern this time completely. Those guys have settled things out a little bit for themselves. Looking back here, though, that's the 7 of Devin Rogers to the inside on Thomas Frisch. Frisch is stuck in that outside position that's unfavorable. He's dropping into line, going to go ahead and give that position up and just start rolling from here. Behind them, though, We're looking at the 27, Brad Tazbecker. Brad stuck to the outside, slowly losing places here. We saw him starting on that second row. He's currently sitting just inside the top 10, fighting for that 9th position there with the 21 of Jeff Bergner. Jeff enjoying the bottom line there. Brad having to run the outside before finally able to drop in. Just in front, though, we're looking at the 46 of Philip Martin, working on the 20 of Cody Hubbard. Those two going at it through 3. Looking like Philip's going to get a little better run coming out of the corner and able to clear Cody. So that outside line able to work for him a little bit, able to carry a little more speed maybe, and go ahead and clear Cody, moving Philip up into that 7th position. Philip, though, not content to ride, starts looking to the inside on the 79 of Patrick Smith almost immediately. Those two working hard through that back stretch. That dog leg's an interesting little corner these guys have to deal with. Martin, though, seems to be having no trouble with it as he comes past the 79 of Patrick Smith. In quick succession, he's able to get past 2 cars and begins working on the 54 of Thomas Frisch. Martin looks like he is on a mission right now, making his way through this field as quick as possible. You see the 54 getting out of shape there. That back end stepping out on him. That's going to be all Philip's going to need to get that machine by. 79 of Patrick Smith saw that 54 getting sideways. Also going to be looking to come to the inside. That 54 machine of Thomas Frisch definitely having a little bit of trouble there, but it looks like he's able to get gathered back up, get dropped into line, and he'll hang on to that 6th position that he's currently riding in. Jumping back here just a little bit. Dustin Shepard currently riding in that 10th position right here on the back of this pack. He's going to see all kinds of action going on in front of him. We're going to have to keep an eye out, make sure guys are being smart there. Oh, as we see the 79 goes around. Got that just on the edge of frame, so we will jump back just a little bit and see what brought those 2 cars together. Looks like the 79 just breaks a little bit sooner than Hubbard was expecting, and Hubbard gets into the back of him, collects him, takes them both into that outside wall. Once again, the narrowness of this track coming into play, guys having to find their way through that little incident. Looked like nobody else getting collected in there too bad, so everyone should be all right. That contact in the outside wall wasn't too hard. It'll just be a few positions these guys will be giving up. So we've been talking about him all night long. Royce Gravino currently riding in that 1st position. Definitely enjoying that spot up there. He's not had to deal with a whole lot as far as wrecks or anything like that. There we see the 196, Brad Klazinski getting that lap back. So that'll be good to see him back on the lead lap and watch him able to start battling for positions. All right, as we're looking at some of these guys, looks like our top 3 yet to pit here tonight. The guys behind them, various different pit strategies behind them. This will be interesting to see as the night goes on how long these guys are able to run those tires. Currently on lap 74 of 100. Some guys were saying before the race, tires aren't something they're going to take. They're just going to run them out until the end of the race. Other guys saying, you know, it's going to take till we see where that caution falls towards the end, what position I'm in, on whether or not I'm coming down pit lane. Currently sitting on lap 75 here. Out of 100, we've had just 5 cautions here on this tight little track. Lead changes. That 76 machine getting edged out, not leading every single lap here, but the majority of the race has definitely been in his control. Lights are out. We're waiting for guys to finish forming up behind the 76 here. Once again, Royce to the inside, Gary outside. Devin Rogers in the 7 on the outside lane. Vern Woodard to his inside. 4 and 7 definitely be looking to get to the inside. Royce quick to get to that loud pedal this time. Pushes that machine out. Able to quickly clear the 4 of Gary Sheen. That's going to work out well for Gary. Not going to leave him hanging on that outside line as we're seeing that 7 machine of Devin Rogers. Devin getting hung out there. If he's not careful, there's going to be a whole line of cars coming by him. Seeing the 46 machine, Philip Martin. We were watching him earlier make his way up through this field. So Philip definitely got a handle on this car here tonight. Got a handle on the track. Seems to be having a good time out there. We're going 3 wide, almost coming through the corner there. Looking like this time Vern Woodard's going to have to think a little bit better of it, not stick his nose inside Rogers. Martin running that inside line, pushing maybe a little bit of contact, nothing too crazy. Those guys running pretty well, even that close together. We're watching Martin continue to work on Vern Woodard. That outside line seems like it's able to hang for a little bit, and then it fades away. If these guys aren't able to get lined out, they drop back pretty quickly. So Vern, while he doesn't want to give up that position, has to keep an eye on what's going on behind him, how close those guys are getting. As it looks like this time caution out on track again. Looking like this 01 Josh Taylor might be our car involved, as he's quite a bit off pace and hanging back quite a ways. Not looking like it. Oh, look, quick glimpse of the 79 there. Let's see if we can jump back and see what happened there. Watching makes it a little bit loose coming through that corner. Looking to the inside on the 47. That's Justin Thoof there in that 47 machine. Justin gets a little bit loose. The 79 comes around. Those two get together. Unfortunately, the 79 Patrick Smith gets sent into the inside wall there. He ends up towing that machine to the pits. Once again, want to give a big thanks out to our sponsors here tonight. Make sure we say thank you to Elkhorn Automotive and Tire Center. These guys helping make sure the show goes on each week. Another big shout out to 5 Star Realty. These guys coming on in the midpoint of the season, making things happen here with the league, giving these guys an opportunity to get some adventures and put on a great show for us. All right, so looking at our current top 10, let's take a look. It's going to be Royce Scravino in first, Gary Asheen in second, Devin Rogers running third with Vern Woodard in fourth. Philip Martin in that 46 machine making his way through the field up into fifth position. Could be a favorable spot to restart there on the bottom. Thomas Frisch in sixth with Dustin Shepard riding seventh, Jeff Bergner in eighth, Jeffrey Mathis in ninth, and Brad Tazbecker rounding out our top 10. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going back to side-by-side action here. Get these guys restarted. That's the 10 machine of Jonathan Cross trying to get caught up to the tail end of the pack before we go back to green here. Royce once again getting a great restart here. Slides up the track. A little bit of contact between him and the 4 of Gary Asheen. Gary gets that machine back under control. Looked like 4 wide action back there through the pack. They get things pretty well figured out. Gary Asheen gonna drop back a little bit, but we stay green. These guys showing some great car control out there with all the excitement going on towards the front. No one getting too crazy, hanging on to those machines. 7 of Devin Rogers riding in 4th currently. We have caution out on track. Looking like that 196 might be involved. Let's take a jump back. So all this excitement, the 47 up into the outside wall there. Gets that gathered back up. We saw that 196 machine quite a bit off the pace there. We see it, a little bit of contact coming through 1, sends him back up the track, collecting the 79 once again. That 79 machine definitely having a rough go of it here tonight. All right, these guys currently working on lap 90 out of 100. So 10 laps to go for these guys. Getting towards the end here, guys are going to be a little more pushy, a little more shoving, trying to get up into that top position. Though it looks like Royce been hanging on to it through the night. Each of these restarts, he's getting a good one, able to clear the car to his outside and get rolling. On our last start, we talked about the 46 machine of Philip Martin. He had that inside position. Doesn't look like that's worked out well for him. He's dropped back 1 spot into that 6th position. So unfortunately, this time we'll be starting to the outside. Lights continue to be on here on the pace car. We're going to be headed around again. We'll be looking at a quick run here to the end. Once again, keep in mind we do have green-white checkers in place. So these guys should be finishing under green flag conditions. Just a matter of how many extra laps they're going to do or not. Lights are out on the pace car. We're getting door to door, nose to tail. Royce to the inside, Vern to his outside. Behind them, Gary Asheen, Devin Rogers, Tamas Frisch, and Philip Martin making up row 3 with Jeff Bergner and Dustin Shepard in row 4. Vern running a big high wide line, trying to get something going on this restart. Looks like it's working for him. He's able to hang on the outside there. Vern still stuck to the outside. Had a great restart, but wasn't quite able to clear that 76 machine, so that's going to leave him hanging for a little bit. Just behind them, though, Devin Rogers in that 7 machine sees the action in front of him, has to be happy with that. This will be giving him an opportunity to stay on that bumper. Hope that something happens, he's able to sneak away with that 2nd position if he can get on by that 73 machine of Vern Woodard. Vern currently showing on the scoreboard in 1st position, so Vern making that outside line work. Vern pushing hard, able to clear. Looks like he might have got, nope. And that 76 machine getting a good run on the back stretch, able to come back to door action with these two. 5 laps to go. Vern working hard on that outside line. We saw him get a great run while the 76 might have slipped up a little bit, but Vern not giving up, continues to work that outside line. Inside on the bottom there, that's Royce Scravino. Royce working well off the bottom there. That car seems to be hooking up. As long as he clips that yellow line just a little bit, it gets the car turned and he is able to get that throttle down. Vern Woodard looking to the outside. We see him get a little bit of his nose past. It'll be interesting to see who is scored as leading this lap. Looks like the 76 Royce Scravino is going to hang on to it. Vern working hard to see that car getting a little bit sideways coming through there. Vern into the outside wall. That's going to slow him down just a touch. Right there in the little bit of a braking zone that we got coming into threes. We see the 4 of Gary Yashin all over the 7 of Devin Rogers. So our first 2 rows battling hard for position. White flag is out. Vern Woodard's going to be looking to push that machine for everything it's worth as we see the 4 of Gary Yashin and the 7 getting together there. Looking like caution will be out on the track. We'll give it a minute and see what iRacing decides, if that was the end of the race or if that came at just the wrong time. Looking like that's going to be the end of her for us here tonight. So that's the 7 of Royce Scravino coming home first. Vern Woodard finishing second. And Gary Yashin finishing in that 3rd position in the 4 machine. Devin Rogers finishes 4th. Philip Martin 5th. We're going to step away for just one moment. See if we can get a word in with our drivers here. All right, we're able to catch up with our top 3 here tonight. I've got a hold of Gary Yashin in that 4 machine. Gary, you got a copy?
You got me?
There we go. We can hear you now, Gary. Gary, a real exciting end of the race here tonight. How was the track for you throughout the night, though?
Actually, it wasn't bad. I mean, at lap 80, I was still running 18 O's. I mean, I qualified at a 9.26, a 17, so I mean, it wasn't too bad.
So this track definitely something you're able to work with. Those 3 corners not throwing you for too bad of a loop, huh?
No, I just had to be a little easier rolling the throttle coming off.
We were talking to some of the guys. They were saying that corner 3 was really the rough one. Were you seeing the same thing, or was there a different spot on the track you were fighting?
Oh, definitely 3 and 4 were my favorite. Because, I would have to say coming off of 2, trying to keep it from sliding sideways was probably the hardest part.
Well, hey, you brought that machine home here in 3rd position. A great battle there at the end. Anyone you want to give a shout out to or say thank you to here tonight?
Just for the league for putting this on every week. I mean, it's something to look forward to. I always do on Monday. It's always pretty fun. So that's about it.
Hey, well, congratulations. You have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can catch up with our 2nd place finisher. That's the 73 machine of Vern Woodard. Vern, you got a copy?
Yep, go ahead.
Vern, running out there on that outside line towards the end. We saw you putting in some great work out there. How are you making that happen? Because nobody else seemed to be figuring it out.
During the open practices that we had during the week, I just spent a lot of the time racing on the outside, and I figured it was my only shot to get by the leader. Royce was the class of the field the whole day, and I figured it was worth a shot.
We were pulling for you pretty hard. We saw you a couple times getting that nose in front, even grabbing a couple of laps led, it looked like. You said you practiced it quite a bit. How was the track tonight compared to how it was in each of the practices?
Towards the end of the race, the outside, I personally think it was better than the inside. I had more grip on the outside the last 5 laps. Uh, Compared to other practices, it was about the same. Not much of a difference. Very loose.
Well, speaking of loose, next week I believe it is we're headed to a dirt track. What are you thinking about that one?
Well, in real life, I actually race dirt track, so I'm really looking forward to that one.
Oh, we'll look to see you up towards the front there again then. Anyone you want to say thank you to, give a shout out, anything good like that?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Patrick Smith and Philip Martin. They run this league, and it's just a great bunch of guys, and they put a lot of time into this, and I just think it's a blast. No better way to spend a Monday night.
Hey, well, congratulations. We enjoy watching you each night or each Monday night here with the Shut Up and Race Street Stock series. Hey, you have a great night and enjoy that second place.
Thank you very much.
All right, now catching up with the 76 of Royce Scravino. Hopefully we're saying that right. Royce, you got a copy?
I do, Danny. How you doing?
Good. How you doing tonight?
This is my first time in this league. I appreciate the guys letting me in. It was a hell of a lot of fun.
Hey, we watched you all night long run there towards the front. Maybe a couple laps, somebody getting by you for just a little bit, but you're able to pull that spot back. This a track that you normally do well at, or is this just kind of someplace you saw was open and jumped on it?
Yeah, I do like the track itself. I actually live about an hour and a half north of the real Concord Speedway, so I like to try to get there as often as I can. But the real challenge for me was the actual car itself. I normally don't run the street stock, more of a late model modified guy myself. But towards the end there, I missed a couple of shifts and made things interesting towards the end.
So shifting was part of the game here tonight. That always throws a wrench in it. Was that did you know you're gonna be doing that coming in, or was that hopping in practice and going, oh crap, I gotta figure something out?
I knew it coming in, so I figure restarts are an opportunity for everybody to gain that ever important track position here. So I tried to put some stress on it. Obviously, there were some gaps there, but Vernon, Gary, and Philip they raced me hard, they raced me clean, and I tried to do the same back to them. So props to them on their finishes.
Hey, well, you put on a great show out there tonight, running there towards the front all night long. Anyone you want to say thank you to, give a shout out?
Yeah, firstly, I want to thank yourself, Danny, for you putting on these races. I had heard some great things about it through a couple of my teammates, David Knowles and Jerry Stone. So I want to thank them for letting me join the league with you guys as well, and keep up the good work up there.
Hey, well, thank you. We appreciate the kind words. You have a great night. Enjoy that victory.
Thanks, boss man. See you soon.
All right, so that was a 76 Royce Scravino. First race here with the guys, definitely making a statement, bringing that car home in the winner's circle here tonight. Well, let's take a quick rundown through our top 10. We had Royce Scravino, who we just talked to in first. Vern Woodard in the 73 put on great show there for the last couple of laps on the outside. In second, Gary Asheen in third. Devin Rogers ran fourth. Philip Martin finished fifth. Thomas Frisch finished sixth. Jeff Bergner finished seventh. Cody Hubbard in eighth. Jeffrey Mathis in ninth. And Dustin Shepard in the 69 finished in 10th. We're going to let that bar scroll across there for the top for you for just a minute more, and you can take a look, see where your favorite driver finished here tonight. Next week, like we said, we are headed to something a little bit different. It's a non-points week, but these guys will be headed out to a dirt track to have a little bit of fun. It'll be a great time watching these guys slide the cars around. We've been watching them here tonight a little bit. A couple of guys getting a little bit sideways coming out of the corner, so it'll be fun to watch them when they're supposed to be doing that as opposed to fighting it, trying to get the car going straight again. From everyone here at the Turn 3 Racing Network and the Shut Up and Race Street Stock Series, thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next week.